Hi, Mandy.
How are you?
Have you got rolling up?
Oh,
Who's
yeah.
this been?
Staples Mandy. That's the infamous M with a
With the
General
squiggle.
government?
yeah.
Yes. Alright, you guys ready for me? I woke up like every hour on the hour last night, so please pardon me. First, I would like to talk about the option to move the annual town election to align with the school vote. There's a bunch of reasons why I like this idea.
This for me?
Yes, that one's yours. I just didn't want to plug it on yours.
No, it's okay.
Okay, so the first is because we'll probably get a better voter turnout. I also want to let you know that I spoke with MMA Legal, and they said all it takes to move the annual town election is a vote of the board members. So when I was at the school election, actually when I was at both elections, I did speak to multiple residents about moving the annual election, and every single resident that I spoke to was in favor of the idea. They like, your school vote doesn't get a very big turnout, and that's where your largest taxpayer money goes to. That's your,
Right, largest amount.
yeah, that's where all of your, I don't want to say all of your, but that's where the largest payment of your tax monies come from.
What was it? It was around 78% last year. What is it this year? The school section of the budget. Yeah, a slice of the pie, or whatever you
No,
want
it's
to call it.
not, but if it was somewhere
Straight up
around
there.
that last year, you can assume it'll be similar.
Same, probably around the same.
The second is because this budget that I gave to all of you, this was last year's expenditures, last fiscal year. That was, so every year you have 3 elections. You have November, you have the school in May, and the town in June, which it's really, we in the office are doing 2 elections at one time, running around like crazy because May and June, because you have certain things that you need to do 60, 90 days out. So I'm working on the June election when we haven't even taken the May vote yet. It would really help us in the office as well as the residents. But if you look at, so we get reimbursed for everything we do for the school, which is all of your May highlighting. We still have to pay that money out of pocket out front.
Yep.
And then, so it's tied up, even though we get reimbursed. So we could eliminate that, so to speak. Everything in June, I can cut in half cost-wise, except for the ballots, because the school and the town have separate ballots. The school will pay for their own ballot, we'll still pay for our own ballots. But everything else, the meals, the payroll, everything else we do in June, I can cut in half. So minimally, I can probably save $1,000 in the election budget. And that doesn't include the fact that we would not have to do the May upfront costs that we have to do. So yeah, we get reimbursed for those, but we still have to put it up front. And we wouldn't have to do that. So I can, if you count that, I can reduce it by more. So that's why I'm looking to move it. Now the only caveat with moving it to May, you're moving your annual election a month sooner. So you have to move your budget process a month sooner. So that would be basically your assessing, you'd sign off on your assessing and you'd jump right into budget.
Yeah. We've already spoken with the budget committee. Chair, presumed chair, until they reconvene, and the secretary. So they're kind of already aware we're looking at this.
Good.
My big thing would be, and of course we could always just shove fire, EMS, to the end of the budget process, because where this is kind of a new combined,
Yeah.
I want as much time to look at that, so we could shove them to the back of the pack, and
Right.
same thing.
And there's no reason why budget committee can't,
Other than that,
once you're finished with one section, you don't have to be finished with the whole thing.
right.
They can start convening on that section once you've finished.
Yeah. I don't see any issue. I think there was a little bit of I remember right, a little bit of opposition from budget chair at the time,
Okay.
trying to convene December, late November, December, because they're busy with school stuff and,
Right.
and things like that. But gotta do what we gotta do. So, like you say, all right, fine, we'll push it ahead even further, maybe.
Right. Yeah, I mean, if they want to start a little sooner and then maybe take that break in November, December because they can't convene, at least they've already started.
Yeah.
And then they can jump back in.
We'll get like a week's breath from assessing and then go
maybe.
right into it.
Yes, maybe.
Little breather.
But it will, I mean, I'll be able to cut the cost of election down, which is good. And I think the voter turnout would be better. I think a lot of people attend one or the other. It's,
Yeah, I think I personally would like to see the budget kind of stabilize. We need to stabilize this tax rate,
right.
so.
In all honesty, we tried to do that way back. Way back, we tried.
You got some.
Well,
One thing I expect to see, because I didn't stay right on it this year, and that's why it'd be good to get the electrician in here and get that photo sensor on those lights out there.
Right.
That they're burning an hour earlier than they should, or I've been noticing that they didn't get. When I was in here, I'd change the dial and try to keep with it, but those things burn some electricity. Those lights outside.
Outside of here,
Yeah, right here. These
These
lights.
parking lot lights.
Yeah.
who does those?
The electrician.
Well, there's
Who
a
is
dial in there so you can correct it for
Oh.
daylight savings and all that. And I
Which-
usually would
It's constant adjustments. I mean, you're doing it, at least at once a month anyways, and
in the summertime.
as the
It's
seasons
crazy.
change, it goes
and
even
daylight.
closer.
Well, what about just training somebody on that, keeping someone trained on the dials? That's simple.
I like what his idea. Yeah, maybe, but I like the idea if we can get an electrician in here, just put a photo sensor on it.
We
It's
don't have
dark,
to
they
worry
come
about
on.
it
Yeah, you're
anymore.
right.
It comes on when it should, goes off when it should.
Pay for itself and warm.
We had Kenny do the one at the station,
And did you ask him about the electrical
Kenny
break?
Gagnon.
Yeah, I
Need
sent
somebody.
your email. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I sent you an email. I'm sorry, I had to process what you
Well, you
said.
put some of that out to bid, but I don't know
We just rebid it.
if, oh, we're in
as
the
far as
middle.
like-
The electrical, and I was just wondering, it's not, I know that we put replacing the lights out on it.
But it was also, that would have been part of it.
It should, yeah,
Yeah.
it could, but it's something we can speak to
Yep.
people about when we get our bids in.
The cost of having a sensor and having it installed would certainly be offset by
Yeah, absolutely.
the fact that it's there and working.
Yes, in the long run.
And we don't have to trouble somebody else with another job.
So do we like or dislike my school? Do you wanna talk about it? Do you wanna take a vote?
We want to discuss that, and,
I'm ready to make a motion.
well, if you are,
Unless you guys want
I
to
think we
discuss.
are too. I think we're ready to, we've talked it over.
Any public participation before?
I think it's a good idea.
No, I actually have heard Mandy speak on it already, and I think Mandy's right on the ball with that one.
Thanks.
What's this for?
It's probably just, oh, this is for the Smart Shopper for the bids.
You got your motion
What
going?
bids is it? Hold on a second. Sanding and painting and the electrical bids.
I need it back so I can make it.
We haven't- we didn't get
I don't
it,
have
we're
it.
putting it in the Smart Shopper.
All right, so I'll make a motion.
Yeah.
Make a motion to move the annual town meeting to coincide with the annual SAD60, Maine SAD60, school budget vote. To move the annual town meeting to coincide with the annual SAD60 school budget vote.
Which is the second Tuesday.
I'll
in May.
second that motion.
Always the second Tuesday in May?
Yep,
Okay.
You got your second on it. You wanna call a vote?
All in favor?
yep.
Aye.
Aye.
I love when Mondays go like that.
This was a Monday.
I hear you. Next.
Then again, so was Saturday.
Yeah. I don't know lately.
I actually got a lot done this weekend. It's probably why I didn't get a lot of sleep.
Well, there. Well, thank you, Mandy.
I have one more.
You have
I
only
can't
one
pick
more?
me up just yet, boys.
Oh, I wasn't trying. I hope you didn't think I was.
Okay, so the next one is Laura put in my elections budget this year. That is a fat packet. You don't have to look at everything.
Okay.
In my election supply budget, she put for new booths, which I'm grateful for because the booths that I've only had to set up 2 times are horrible. They're rickety, they're dirty,
Thank you.
I don't know, you guys are residents, so you vote in those things.
They don't bother me any.
They're,
Well,
and
the shape that they're in,
they're in awful shape. My
and
hands
they
are
are
filthy.
a bit heavy. I noticed when they hand.
They ever fell over, they'd
So-
go
They're
like
heavy.
dominoes.
Yeah, if you've got metal that breaks and
But
when
the
you're
other
handling
part
something
is
like that.
they're got it. I got it.
Oh,
Right. The setup time on those, thank you, is incredible. That's where a lot of your setup election comes from. It's like it should be easy, but she did put room in for new booths. So what I did on your first page, you'll see this is my elections budget for 2016. There's 19,030, which is highlighted in orange. That's what I have this year. I added your little actual column for last year because Jeanette, when we did this budget, hadn't finished closing 2014-15, so we didn't know what our actual numbers were. So I added that, but on your second page is the printout from the report that shows you I didn't make that number up. Okay? So, like I said, usually you have 3 elections. You have one in November, one in May, and one in June. Last year you had special elections. You had one in January, and I believe in March, although that could have been a previous year. You at least had 4 elections last year. So what I've done is pretended like we were gonna have 4 elections this year, even though you guys just told me technically we should only have 2. If I budgeted for 4, that means I have room for 2 special elections. And I still have room for $5,000 for a booth. I got 2 quotes, which are the next 2 pages in your little packet. One of them is for $550 for 20 booths. I don't like those booths and I don't like that price. I just wanted to show you I was shopping. The second page is from Ken. He used to be at Compact Innovations. I'm sorry, he used to be at LHS and now he has his own company, Compact Innovations. And he came and met with me. We went to the school to check out the price, space rather, and the setup. And he quoted me on 20 new booths, which legally, because we have 4,600 registered voters, we need 21 booths. Right now we have 20 plus the AVS booth, which is the ADA compliant booth. I would only buy 20 booths and still use that state issued ADA for my 21st booth. I just wanted to explain that. He quoted me at $3,730. It's much less. It's under my 5,000 budget, which means if we had a 3rd special election, I'd still have a little bit of space in there.
Mandy, how many of those booths are still good?
In my opinion,
they've been complaining about them for years.
Well, I know, but out of the bunch, there's probably gonna be some, we're talking about reusing one. Can we reuse like 6 or something like that? And
well,
help
the
things
way the
move along?
booths are, the way they are, it's like a T section, right? So it's like one sets up, right? So you have one booth and then something hangs over and the next one connects to
Connects
it.
to that, right?
So it's not,
Is one booth
Not
by
actually a
itself
booth.
gonna
Not
start?
actually a
right,
booth.
it's not a booth on top, it's something that connects to the next
Right,
one
so
to
you
the next
wanna
one.
be setting up a multiple anyways, like 3 or something like that?
You have to set up, I think, 3 or 4.
One's an H, he said, yeah.
Right.
Well, these ones are the same type of setup. I was talking about the old ones, but these ones
Oh.
are the same typical idea. Yes,
Right.
but these ones are different. So, and I spoke with SOS, and there's another reason why I want new booths, because the way that we set up our elections, because I reached out to the Secretary of State, to say, hey, if I get these new booths, am I still compliant with state law? And I sent her a little picture of the way we set it up and what my new booths would look like. Because, and I want to explain to you why I did that, because these booths are like this. So it's 2 rows. You have a row of 10 on each side. And I'm opting to get curtains because everyone feels better with a curtain. So you go in to vote either here, 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 and then 10 on the other side. So I just wanted to make sure that that was okay. Because it's the cheaper option, it's the setup is easy and takedown is easy. I like the way they are better, but I wanted to make sure that that was okay. And she said, your booths are fine, but the way you set up right now is not lawful. Which I didn't know, obviously. So the next 3 pages in that packet are discussions, the email between me and the Secretary of State, and the proposed new way to set up the voting area. The 2 drawn ones are the ones that the Secretary of State sent to me. This top one is the one that I sent to her and said, well, how about, is this okay? And she said, yes, that works perfectly fine. So now I have even less space, basically. So those back-to-backs are pretty important.
I have another question,
Absolutely.
basically related to the first one I asked.
Okay.
As the population, number of voters changes, we need to keep up.
Yes.
Okay, so that means we gotta grow. Right now, we're saying we're coming up 1 short, or if you go with what you're proposing, can we get, say we add on another, I don't know, I'd say 2 to 6 booths here.
Yes.
Now, on this initial order, rather than fool around with the old junk, which everybody's saying is no good.
It is awful. So
Just, in other words, is it in the budget?
Order the extra
That's what I'm
ones
saying.
now.
Can we-
Is what
can we
he
do
said.
that?
well, I have 5,000 in my budget. I'm only spending 37 by getting these booths.
Okay,
So there's a little bit of wiggle room.
Okay, and then I'm gonna help you a little too.
Okay.
What's your plan with the old ones? If they're no good, I don't think another. They're aluminum,
Yeah.
so there's
Like
recyclability, and there's money there that could then go back towards miscellaneous revenue to the town as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
And yeah, because nobody wants those.
I mean, might only be
These things
$150
are
or
ancient.
$100 or something like that.
The
Something.
cloth part that's no good can get.
Well, that was my other question
the
was if the
curtains,
curtains could
if
be
we're
used.
just gonna recycle them, I'm sure we can find a reason to
Because
use
they're
the curtains.
Velcro, right?
Yes.
Would they work on the new system?
No.
Okay.
Because it's not, so this one just has like the walls that come up. They Velcroed around the metal bar that went across the top, but there's nothing like that.
Okay.
He gives us a whole curtain system, but I'm sure I can use them for something.
Yep.
I mean, I don't want to get rid of those. If I can run them through a washing machine,
Yep.
you know.
You see the point I'm making,
Yeah,
rather than,
you're
if
right.
we need a minimum of 21 right now, then let's go just a little over the minimum. It'll help
Like
you move the line
2
along
more.
too, when it's real busy.
Yeah.
Because one booth is actually 2 booths, because they're back to back like that. So maybe just 1 more I can find out, and that would be 2 additional. You need 1 for every 500 registered voters. I hope that's right. I'm not looking at my book. I'm pretty sure.
Double check that anyways. I'd rather see it.
But if
just
we
a
had
little
another
bit-
1,000 voters and we
Yeah.
had those
You're
2
gonna put the
booths.
boots away from the wall?
Yes.
Is that gonna shorten, you gotta remember to use it for lunch,
No, right, and I did think of that.
okay?
So, Tina Means at the Secretary of State is amazing, and I've been harassing her today too. But her and I went back and forth. She was asking, can we close this? Can we do that? I said, well, I need the ADA compliant door. So we decided we would split it in half the way that we usually do. But
Thank you.
instead of coming in that front door where you guys were
I
standing
see.
out campaigning,
Yes.
you come in the
Yeah.
back door for 2 reasons. 1, to control voter traffic, and 2, because that door is the one that's accessible, wheelchair accessible. the front door, it has that bar in the middle. So before, that would be the exit, so then they'd have to still walk all the way around and fit through two small doors. So what I've asked Dan and code enforcement to do already is to try and build me a ramp that's removable, because there's one stair on that back door. If they can just get together and figure out how to build me a ramp for that back door so that if a wheelchair comes through, we can throw it down. And then basically you have the layout that we've decided on.
A ramp that had a railing on it anyway. There's a lot of elderly in town that prefer the ramp than going up that step.
Really?
Rather than climbing
If
the
I
step.
remember,
So we
that's
did
only
it
about
today.
this high,
Right,
Oh, yeah, that step.
it's not very big.
put some asphalt.
That'd be up to, we couldn't do that. It'd be up to the
That's
school.
the school, right, that's why
Yeah, I know it's a school, ask the school if we could do it.
Yeah. Well, I would think
I
the
would ask the
school would
school if
want,
they would pay for it too.
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
100%.
well, I would think it would make sense to turn that into a handicap door anyway, sort of. for
Well,
exit-
that
for
is their
emergency
accessible
exit.
door, which
Yeah.
is why I told her
Right.
that I couldn't block that off. She was trying to keep it shut to control voter traffic, and I said, no way. We need that.
Hey guys.
It's usually considered an exit.
That face looks
Right,
like
but
trouble.
This is how so this would be
Right.
your entrance, your check-in table. Another reason why it's unlawful is because people are coming right in behind the guardrail before they check in. She told me that that's illegal. They need to check in before they cross that
So you're
guardrail.
talking about making
So
what
this
the
is a-
exit door is now into the entrance door.
Correct.
We're reversing our traffic flow.
Correct. So that they would check in before they go behind the guardrail like they're supposed to. Plus, this is the accessible door, so it makes more sense.
Right.
They would check in, then hit the voting booths here, put the ballot box at the other end, and leave the other side.
If I
So-
go this way, the school could be a great help.
So your exit's here?
Doing that. Make
Right,
that
they can
handicap
exit,
accept-
they can still go back out that
Okay.
other door.
So other conversations that have happened with the principal and Laura in the past has been questions about who's coming in to vote, who's walking through the area that the
They don't
kids
need to go through there at
I was
all.
gonna say, why can't we funnel them right through that little office?
They can
like,
go right back out
yeah.
that door.
go out that door?
Yeah.
So we'll stay in the gym?
Because that's on the other side of the guardrail. They can go right
Okay.
back out that
So
door.
it could
I
be
would-
entrance and exit.
Then I would make that either very clear, either let them go through this and out. I wouldn't let them go anywhere in this whole corridor here.
I'd
just
rather
because of-
keep that
Just because, let them leave that to
closed.
the school, yep.
because another thing is we were trying to figure out where to put the voter registration because now that they're coming in this entrance, if they have to register, they have to walk all the way around, and that's just an inconvenience.
Yep.
So where people usually have tables, people usually rent tables.
Yep.
One of those tables is going to have to be our registrar for voter, for the convenience to the voter. Because as opposed to having them walk around the whole school and then walk back around. But the other, we can still have 2 tables. We had 4 out and only 3 were being used.
Why don't
so
you just have the tables outside
we can,
if it's nice weather?
weather permitted.
November.
I mean, I would just assume be outdoors anyway myself. So.
But petitioners is another thing, because petitioners can lawfully collect signatures at an election, but they can't speak to the voters until after they've voted, which is why Secretary of State put them where she did on this layout. Because we want to keep them inside under our watch to make sure that they're doing things the way they should be doing them, but we do need to permit them to do that.
With your entrance and exit in the same spot over here, I see a problem. We're gonna have a lot of people right here in this open area that just don't wanna move. They're telling stories with each other and all that.
Well, that's what the
whatever's going
moderator's
on.
job is, to keep people moving.
Well, you may
You got
have-
one door there, though. That's gonna be a
That,
traffic flow problem.
that's gonna be a traffic flow problem.
I can have them exit where they used to do the voter registration if you feel better about it that way.
I personally think it would work better.
If you're
I
gonna
would
have
too,
them
'cause a
exit
lot
through
of
there, why don't
people
you put
wanna
your
vote and then get out of there.
your rented tables in that little room? If
That's smart.
if you're gonna exit them out through there, put your people with your raffles and stuff in that
But
little
I can't
room.
have them bogging there either, so the moderator will just have to shovel them along.
You'd be able to go here, I suppose, if they wanted to go, but you have this door shut off.
Right.
You know, I don't know. It's
No, they
tough.
can't. It was so hard for me to figure out how to make this legal. I didn't even realize what we were doing wasn't accurate. So, I mean, if you see, we went back and forth. You can see all the different ways that she tried to get this to happen. I mean, there's this one, but that just shrinks my space a lot.
You might have to put up with that, because at least this way, you've got people coming in. They're used to coming in one door and going out. Well, no, they're used to going back out
Well,
the
you
same
only get-
door, but the long way
Is that a
around. This would be a
36-inch
shorter
door?
one.
You might have said that already. Is that a 36-inch door? So that's 88.
That's ADA, and that's what I was just
That's-
gonna say. That front door, it's got that metal beam in the
Yeah,
middle.
I remember. We had issues. And it was worse when you're running and you can't hold the door for anybody. 'Cause,
And it's not, yeah.
you know, really, seriously, it
The
was
last page there is one that they were looking at. They
Yeah,
would
but
utilize
that's
the
what we were
little
talking
room.
about. This door is not ADA.
Right.
That's why we're having
It's
a
got
hard
that metal
time.
bar in it, yeah.
Oh, okay, that's where you'd have to have the ramp.
Well, I'd have to have, it's not wide enough.
Yeah, well,
It has a metal bar in the middle, which is why I
Because
thought.
you gotta think, too, that you got presidential a year from now. You're gonna
Yeah.
have some serious...
We'll
When
have
we
a lot
usually
of
have a
people.
presidential, your line usually goes down like that.
It's gone down the hallway all the way to the other doors on the other end many
Well, at least
times.
now they can line outside, which is nice, probably better for the school. I mean, unfortunately,
What about the voters though?
I know.
Because when the lines
Well,
are
they're usually
long,
shut
they're
down by the
standing
time
there.
people get out of work, is what's the school's
Yeah.
like not in session at that point.
Right.
But
Yeah.
yeah, the lines are. And to have everybody in and out this same one door is gonna be a problem.
What about those tents that you rented for the festival for Taylor Rental? $210, I
Okay.
think it was. If you put a tent, if you put one of those big 20 by 40 tents outside of that
Is
back
it
door.
enclosed?
Well, I don't
I
know.
think they have
I'm
walls.
sure they have walls. I don't know if they do or not. That wasn't anything they used, so I don't know. But you could call it. It was Taylor Rental in Sanford, and they came and set them up.
Yeah, they come and do
And
all
they
the
tore them
work.
down. $210. So
But that doesn't fix my door problem. I mean, I can funnel them if they went.
I would funnel them right
So
through
here's
here.
the thing. When we had them exit over here before, people didn't actually exit that door. They
No,
walked
they were-
all the way through this
Because they were
hallway.
used to doing that.
And that's where the conversations were coming from Tom Ledoux and between
Was
him
that
and
just
Laura.
recently?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
A year ago, I think.
Oh, I
I'd have
thought
to
you
go back
meant
and check my emails.
like my elections.
No.
Well,
Because the concern is who's coming in to vote, et cetera, having access to the children. You know, maybe it's a divorced father who's not supposed to be, you know, having access. There's all kinds of questions there that were being thrown out.
I think I talked to you about it because I had no idea that the kids were there. I mean, they were actually walking them in and around the corner through people to
Which is
take them out
another
into that
reason
back.
why I like entering this back door because pickup and drop off comes right through the front door.
We'll throw another question out
Buses, pick
there.
'em
Why
up.
nobody's talking about this? And yes, it's going to take some retraining of the townspeople. But why are we not looking at Hanson Gymnasium? I don't know it that well. I don't know.
Was that one first? Was
That's
Hanson
this-
first or was Hanson second?
This one here. But
I meant,
don't,
was it built first or
built
second?
after.
It was built second?
Yeah, that's when
So
the,
I
here, the
wonder
old
if
one was
it's
built
got a
what,
bigger gym.
It's
54.
bigger gymnasium, isn't
It is a bigger
Much
gym?
bigger.
I was sitting here pondering that why can't you?
I think it's
Oh
just
my goodness.
my thought is it's just always been the old school, and that's
that
why I
gym
wanted
is
to throw
so
it out there.
little. I don't know,
That
I just
was-
assumed.
that-
Let's go look at it. You know, at least throw it on the table and
Is
look
it
at it.
available to us?
Well, I mean that's what we'd have to ask that
That was
question.
the deal with the school when that office there that they could never throw us out.
And I think that building's
Right.
ADO.
But this newer
ADA,
school, they
probably
might,
if
they
it's
might
newer.
be
Steve
able to
Connolly.
say no.
And Steve Connolly's
So
a
I can
different
use
superintendent,
More
so
than one door.
and he's been very accommodating. Steve Connolly. Been-
And there's no reason why I can't still use the safe at the Lebanon Elementary. It's only right next door. It's not gonna
Mhm.
kill me.
They might work better. I don't
We have
know the layout
just
of the school.
so that you know, you have a lot of people that ask them why they don't use the
Don't either.
old town hall for polling a town polling place too, seeing as it's never used for anything. A lot of people have spoke
Where is
up
the
and
old
said,
town hall?
Top of the hill up here.
right on Center Road, just right up by the church.
Instead of taking a right, take a left and go to the
Is
top
it
of
a
the
big
hill.
empty building?
Yeah, but it's
access
in
is all
serious
wrong.
disrepair right
Yeah,
now.
there's
Yeah.
a whole
Yeah.
bunch of bad stuff there. A lot of money's
$70,000 you gotta put into it before we could use it.
Yeah, that's
No
probably a
bathroom, no
liability.
water, no heat,
Right, no
No, thank
electricity,
you.
How elaborate.
no light.
no voting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No voting.
No way, right?
No, it's gonna cost more than it's worth.
Why don't you,
Why don't
There's
I
no
go
we.
check out the Hanson School?
well, I would make a phone call first to SAD60, see what their thoughts are on letting us use that.
I follow you.
That'd be the first question. They may just say, no, we don't want you for whatever reason.
Okay.
And then I have no idea what the layout of.
Right.
Well,
We
now
need-
that I
I can't
know what
remember.
I'm supposed to really be doing because I've talked with Tina so much, I can figure that out. I would be able to figure it out. I mean, I figured this
I
out.
do remember, alright, so there's like a double set of doors here. I actually got engaged in that gymnasium, so I should remember.
Oh my God.
Sorry, Becca. Anyway. But there's a double set of doors right there, and it kind of goes into like a hallway area, and the gym's there. And I think there's another outside door to the
There's
gymnasium
two. There's one on the back and there's one on the side.
Thinking that's-
So
That
double
would solve
doors that go out
everybody's
into the
problem.
parking lot. Plus the one that
And
goes
bigger.
into the school.
And bigger.
Yeah.
And it's
So
gonna take
there's
some.
two that go into the gym.
There's
alone.
two that come from the outside parking lot into the gym. One on the back wall and one on the
That's
side wall.
perfect.
And then there is also the hallway that goes out into
And they're
the
both
school.
doubles.
Yeah, I believe they are.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
know the one in the back is,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
yeah.
You'll get some people squawking because of change, but and it's also gonna be just put out there.
I mean, I have to do it
Yeah.
the way that we're supposed to do it.
As the town grows, it
Well, that's the other thing
has
is
to grow.
they've identified we've been doing it illegally.
Yeah, she said, I didn't know that you were doing it this way. No one ever showed us this. I said, I've only been here a couple months.
Right.
I'm sorry. So, all right, I'll look on that. But I do have a PO where I'm hoping I can get new boots.
How soon before they? No, it's not a bad price either. If you're going
It's
for
not
37,
for 20 boots.
we
That's
just
everything we need.
restricted all department heads until tax money started coming.
Oh,
in.
I'm not going to spend it yet.
What? That's my question. How soon you place the order? How long does it take to get them?
I can ask him.
You don't have
He
to
seemed
put
to
that
have
out.
everything right there available, though.
I
I don't think it will take
Perfect.
long. I mean, he came right out and did the measurements with me in the gym and figured out how we would do it. So,
Nice.
we just saved a whole bunch of money. Yay!
I love that thought. You could tell she's a real girly girl. I got it. I got it on sale, so I bought 5 more.
Yeah.
And I saved a lot of money.
0698.
All right. Oh, thank you. All right.
Did you add the extra boots that you and Royce were speaking about?
I can do that. I'll have to get another quote.
I think
from him.
it's probably a better
Yeah,
idea.
I think you're right.
So maybe you
Okay.
shouldn't sign that one.
Yeah.
Maybe you
Yeah.
should,
Well,
because
here,
I think that's a better
in his
idea to get
quote,
them.
It says. Da-da-da.
Because then when you need 4 more and these ones are discontinued, you don't have to buy a whole new set to get the
That's
4.
right.
So 9 tees are $2.99. So $2.99 for another tee plus 44 for. Are you adding for me?
343.
How much?
343. We should have been able to
Plus
do that in
the-
our head, both
plus-
of us.
Plus that.
Okay. Still should have been able to do that in our head. 4073.
Am I okay to change this? guys?
Just have them
Yeah.
initial it.
And I will make sure that this is what it is before I hit go. 22 new boots even. You guys are awesome. Okay.
Okay, so you're gonna check. All right, so you also want to vote probably on moving that. Oh, we did that already. We did that already.
You did.
Man, this is a
I
Monday.
got everything.
All right.
Everything I
Moving
wanted
way
You're
tonight.
gonna check
fast.
I'm gonna
Hanson
call.
School.
Yeah.
Yep.
and see if I can't get in there, and I'll still use the
It'll
other
be a
one.
lot
for
better for
everything.
everybody.
Yeah,
I'll check the handicap access, make sure we're not in trouble there.
yeah.
I've got a video somewhere.
There shouldn't be, where that's built.
I'm sure she would love that.
Yeah.
How old?
I'll just tell us the date night.
Watch out, engagement, 10 years,
Oh,
15?
you're caught.
Must be 15. So it should be it should be all set. We
Yeah,
need
if
to
it
know
was
the
built
answer.
newer, it should
Yeah.
be ADA.
Yeah.
And if there's 2 doors, I'm excited about it. Thank you.
Great job, Mandy.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks, Mandy.
Have a good night.
Alright.
Looks like you guys are in trouble. Big man's here.
I've been in trouble for 2.5 years.
But you do it so well.
Yeah.
Alright, we can take a